Well, Joe, welcome to Goldenton Road. I don't want to put you under too much pressure. You haven't even done a full training session with us yet. You arrived only a couple of hours ago. But in terms of moving here to Bedford Blues and Goldenton Road, excited for the new campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of, as I say, like last few years, sort of slowly been, getting into the champ. Sort of had a, proper season, year just gone by, and I felt it was about time for a move. And I think, what better than a move to come to a sort of club with a rich history such as Bedford, and such a well-supported club as Bedford. So yeah, really, really excited. As you say, I haven't been here too long, but from what I've seen so far, really excited. Yeah.
What do you know about Bedford coming here? You've played at Goldenton Road, you've played against us, you've won here at Goldenton Road as well. You know what it's going to take to play in front of the big crowds and all that kind of thing. Your links to the Championship through Hartpury. How excited are you to be here, and what do you know about the club heading into the new season?
Yeah, obviously I know the club's got a real rich history, and you'd probably be right in saying it's the most well-supported club in the champ. So obviously come and playing here against Bedford, you've got to sort of overcome that hurdle of that loud, large crowd. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be on the sort of other side of that. So I have won here once, however I've lost here more than a couple of times. So it'll be nice actually having that crowd behind me for a change, actually playing for the Blues, and so I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
A short stint in Australia. You come from the end of the last Championship campaign to now a short stint in Australia. You've done that a couple of times. In terms of mixing that northern southern hemisphere rugby, do you feel like you're moulding yourself into a real good player at the moment?
Well, I think I sort of the club I'd been at sort of 6 years, from a junior right the way up to the sort of senior team, and I think you do become sort of indoctrinated. And I sort of went to Australia, back to sort of my childhood club, to sort of refresh myself. And as you say, play a bit of a different style of rugby, and I think it's almost been perfect in sort of styling me towards the style that Bedford like to play, that sort of jouet, keep the ball alive, off the cuff style of rugby. And obviously that's very affluent in Australia, and that sort of southern hemisphere style. So I feel like it's been a sort of good stepping stone, almost coming to a club like this, having that sort of short stint in Australia. Yeah.
And in terms of moving here, you obviously northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere influence. Gloucester you were with for a while as well, Hartpury, as we've discussed. You get the chance to mix it with all of them next season here at Bedford, with the Championship but the Premiership Cup as well. Being around the Championship for a few years, you'll know a bit stagnant at times, but next season exciting that we get to test ourselves against the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of them. Everyone who's in the champ knows what a good league it is, and people who come watch the games, people who coach, whether people who are involved in the champ any form whatsoever, know what a good league it is. And sort of having the opportunity for the players, and it's not just the players but the coaches, the fans, to sort of experience their clubs playing against Premiership players, going to Premiership grounds, having Premiership fans coming to the Championship grounds. I think it's a huge opportunity all around, and it's always going to be good for the Championship. And I think it will probably surprise a few people just how competitive some of the Championship sides are. 100%.
I don't want to dumb the question down too much, but supporters, okay, you've won here, you've played against us a few times. Supporters may not know particularly too much about you, because they obviously focus on us quite a lot. You've worn 6, 7 and 8 for Hartpury in recent times. Can you just explain to supporters what they can expect from you next season, your favourite position, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I'm sort of moulding more towards the sort of, ball carrying 7, 8 now. Sort of, I think growing up was typically a 6 in the line out. However, the last few years sort of been enjoying getting the ball more in my hand, a bit more, lots of carries in the game, and then defensively, I think that's my favourite aspect of the game, just making a tackle, getting back up, sort of, players that sort of look to on the highest level, the sort of Ardy Severe types, who are just, explosive ball carriers and just relentless in defence, yeah.
And in terms of that role next season, actually, you come into a squad that had 17 re-signings. It's well gelled, but the new boys that have come in are in your position. That probably helps as well in terms of the transition. Obviously, haven't met the players too much yet heading into this interview, so it's a difficult question. But in terms of that integration, you must be looking forward to it, that there are a few new faces as well in similar positions to you, in your similar area to the field as well, in terms of trying to all gel in at once.
Yeah, well, I think, it almost makes it easier when a large part of the squad stays, because for newcomers it's very easy for them to sort of, you know, get taught the sort of style of rugby very quickly, whereas if you've got loads of new people coming in, you know, it's, you know, you spend half a pre-season sort of actually finding your identity as a club, whereas, you know, that sort of culture and identity, that style of rugby is, you know, well established. So I think new lads like myself coming in, you know, it's, you know, when half, you know, well, not half the team, when a majority of the team knows the sort of answers for the questions you're asking, you know, it becomes quite easy to sort of get you know, slotted in pretty quickly within a week or two. Yeah.
Well, Joe, I realise we're fastly approaching your first training session. I'll let you get on, but welcome to Gordon Road, and look forward to catching up with you again later in the 23-24 campaign.
Definitely. Thank you very much.